What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we have a quick market update. The market is out of control lately. I don't know what's going on. I know tons of demand for Surging Sparks, which makes sense given the lineup we're expecting in that set. But it's not just Surging Sparks. It's all over the place, especially Scarlet and Violet. It seems as prices on Sword and Shield rose, that money is just spilled over to Scarlet and Violet. Seems cheaper, right, compared to $250 boxes in Sword and Shield. And I think everyone's realizing we get some really good cards here in Scarlet and Violet. So let's just take a quick look here at Surging Sparks. We're seeing prices, pre-order prices already 125. Not too many listings. Average daily sold at 12 here, and we're just seeing you're just not going to find boxes around $100 again. So probably not even after release. I was getting pre-order prices for some of these boxes around 100, 105. It seems outside of TCG Player that about 115, maybe even 120 this weekend is the norm, and it's just going bonkers for this set. It's gonna release at least this price, if not higher. We only have 400 boxes on pre-sale right now. Even when this comes to market, maybe you see a slight dip, but just demand's going to be. I mean, just put it this way: if we have Twilight Masquerade at $170 right now, market price, I mean, and it's a great set, but this is a bonker set here. There's no reason we're not going to see at least 150 here shortly after release. Now, the question is, did Pokemon Center realize this? Did the Pokemon Company realize this and print this in higher numbers? The only reason I say that is, well, let's look at the Pokemon Center exclusive version of the ETB. Still available, which is, I don't want to say concerning, but given we've seen these sell out in other sets in Scarlet and Violet, it seems that they're still obviously still available. With the demand, I would not have expected these to be available still. So my guess is, again, they realize this is a banger of a set. Increased print numbers. Did they do the same with booster boxes? We just don't know. So we'll have to see. Maybe this does sell out closer to the release. The other thing is, we've seen other sets, even 151, where they release some extra Pokemon Center Elite ETBs on the day of release. So we'll see if we see that. But these, I mean, the promo card in these is fantastic. I'm super surprised these haven't sold out yet. I still think these are a great grab. Box art, Terra Pikachu here. I mean, that's fantastic. So you can't go wrong. It's just don't assume the same scarcity that we've seen in other Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETBs is going to be the case for this one. I don't think that's going to be the case, but obviously still great. If you want to hold ETBs, this is what you do. You don't just buy regular ETBs. They take up a ton of space for what they have. But this one's going to be fantastic given the promo cards here. It's not just Surging Sparks. The entire market, it's just even what we were previously seeing as depressed sets like Obsidian Flames were just, there wasn't a ton of demand on it. And we've just seen price. I mean, I was surprised to see that $120. These were sitting at 100 or below 100 for a year at least. And we've just started to see that price go up. So, and you can see it's not even, I mean, the demand, look at the demand. So you can see the volume sold per day. The demand's not changing all that much. We're seeing a pretty even demand over the last 6 months. So I don't know if this is a matter of just, enough listings have dried up that, sellers are not willing to sell, to part with it at such cheap prices. But yeah, it's just really surprising to see. So we've definitely seen the number of listings kind of drop on this, which is, only 310 posted right now. So, and this one, surprising as well, definitely seen the demand increase on this one, but a PC exclusive here, Obsidian Flame. Like I mentioned before, we definitely did not see the same number of the early SV set Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. We did not see a huge volume of those. Definitely shorter printed for sure. And we're definitely seeing the results of that here. $132 for a PC ETB that's under 2 years old is pretty crazy. That's awesome. It's good to see. I like Obsidian Flames. I don't think it's a terrible set. Certainly not top tier, but I don't think it's too bad. And then it continues on with 151. We've seen it gone bonkers. I mean, $220 for the Pokemon Center ETB. We're seeing cards rise in value. We get that Charizard EX, 200. Blastoise has gone up. Regular ETB still holding around that Yeah, let's see. Yeah, around that $95 market price, I mean, you can see it just totally shot up. It just, I don't know where the sudden demand for this came from. I don't know if it's we've just had enough time pass that people have realized, maybe we're not getting the massive influx we thought of. Maybe the demand is just naturally, organically there. I'm not really sure. I've kind of racked my brain on it. We've had more product come to the market in form of those kind of ancillary products like the booster bundles, the poster collections, things like that. I don't think I definitely have not seen more ETBs come to market. Whether we will or not, I don't know. I would think we would, given what we've seen with Crown Zenith. We saw many, many waves of Crown Zenith ETBs. We've seen lots of ancillary products with Crown Zenith. It would be shocking to me that they would leave this much value on the table. We saw what happened with the booster bundles. We saw tons of them released at multiple big box vendors, and we saw them gobbled up. We haven't really seen that price of those bundles drop all that much. Still got a $50 market price on these, and those are retailing about $27, $28 recently. Plenty of listings available for these, and then demand is just such that even if we get a restock of ETBs, we'd see a small depression in price, but it would bounce right back. There's tons of demand for it, and I think the longer that we're not seeing ETBs come back to market, that's the PC ETB. The longer we're not seeing ETBs get reprinted, I think maybe that's just telling people, hey, there's plenty to believe in here. They don't Pokemon's, the Pokemon company just, they understand what the collector is. They understand they have to be very careful, and they have to reprint with a scalpel, not with a hammer, or else that trust kind of erodes, and you know what happens there after that. So. And then same thing, 151 Ultra Premium Collection, 200, but plenty of listings, $200 now. I mean, we could have these on TikToks for $70 all day, less than a year ago. So again, just you can see the volume has increased here with price, beautiful chart. And, it just shows no signs of stopping. I think when we're hitting this $200 price point seems to be a kind of line in the sand. We saw it in Sword and Shield. We're seeing it now here too, where I think you're going to see things to start to level off, especially if we still see some ancillary products released. Like the Pokemon company has shown that they are willing to reprint some 151, just not in those high demand products. So that kind of gets, kind of quelches the supply side so much. So we're not just dumping tons of water on the fire, so to speak. So, but yeah, everything's going up. The only thing that's really not going up in Scarlet and Violet is like a Temporal Forces or Paradox Rift. Recent sets with plenty of demand, plenty of supply, not a ton of demand, as we've really seen the focus stay on Twilight Masquerade, 151, Surging Sparks, and the other part of this too is the future of Scarlet and Violet with the Team Rocket set. I think we have that specialty evolutions subset coming in the new year. I think there's a lot of demand for that too. So the back half of Scarlet and Violet is absolutely nuts. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the quick market update here. Surging Sparks is going crazy. If you're holding out waiting for release day pricing, you're going to be disappointed. If you can find boxes under 120, depending on whether, if you're cracking them, obviously it really doesn't matter at that point. I mean, if you're holding long term, don't wait, because you may never get a chance at these prices again. I don't like to, we don't want to FOMO or anything like that, but the reality of that is that if we're seeing Twilight Masquerade hit 170 right now, less than 6 months after release, I mean, what's going to happen at Surging Sparks? Again, unless the print numbers are massive, double of Twilight Masquerade, I don't even know if that would be enough to really keep this price from hitting 150 a couple months after release. So don't hold out, grab a couple boxes. This could be the closest thing we get to, I don't want to call it an Evolving Skies, but it could be the closest thing we get to it in Scarlet and Violet. So pick up a couple boxes, maybe buy a booster box to squirrel away, pick up some ETBs, to crack. And yeah, that's my market update. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.